Today I'm going to dive deep into a story about a woman in America who get trapped in a whole lot of different crimes. So let me unpack this story to you now. Guys, welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, subscribe. And if you come here before and you're not subscribed, now is the right time to subscribe. So anyway, this is a reaction channel. We're not here to fight, we're not here to argue. This is a respectable channel. But me analyze, me criticize, me tell the story, and of course, if anybody want me to put them story out there, me put it out there. This is more like a story channel, whether it's about news or anything like that. But the stories on here, they are real. Anyway, guys, now this woman, she's a Jamaican woman who over the years has been caught in relentless cycle of crimes, deportation and illegal reentry into the United States. But beyond the headlines, her story raises some really tough questions about justice, second chances, and the policies that govern immigration. Now, first the facts. Back in 2003, this woman, she's Miss James. I'm not going to give you her first name because since she have to be deported back to Jamaica. And sometimes, as I said, I don't really want to give people name out. You understand? Because she back in Jamaica, she in the headlines and stuff like that. So me go leave the first name out and just call her by her last name, Miss James. This woman was convicted in a federal court for possession of cocaine based with intent to distribute. She was a dealer, and we all know that this is a very serious drug offense. So it's not only the man them a do it, the woman them a do it too. God, this is a woman come from Jamaica, deport twice. The court sentenced this woman, and as a part of her punishment, them give her the order to remove from the United States and them send her back to Jamaica in 2004, which is really the standard protocol nowadays, or from way back. It's not only started with Donald Trump, but they had been deporting people. It's just that it was more quieter than now. Now, if you're convicted of a federal crime, especially involving drugs, deportation is usually the next step. Very, very serious crimes, you know that the deportation is going to come up. Now, some might say, well, she broke the law, she faced her consequences, and she was sent home. And that is true. The justice system is supposed to hold people accountable, and deportation is part of that process for non citizens involved in a serious crime. But it's so unfortunate sometimes when you think about it that then become a burden when they are deported back to their country. And despite the woman's deportation in 2004, the woman's story didn't end there. So in 2011, she was ordered to leave the United States again. And by 2012, she was deported once more back to Jamaica. How the hell did she get here after she was deported in 2004? So she had already been through the cycle. Crime, punishment, deportation twice. Even though she come back, She come back to America for the same goddamn reason and doing the same thing. But somehow she found her way back into the United States illegally. And that's where the story takes a darker turn. The authorities found her here around May of this year without legal permission. No visa, no asylum claim, nothing. She was in the country illegally. And what did they do? They quickly moved to indict her for illegal reentry. So you're talking about our third time now. She deported back to Jamaica 2 times. In June, a grand jury charged her with the crime, and just last week, the woman pleaded guilty. Now, think about that. She's 53 years old now. She's been deported twice, and yet she chose to come back. Some may say she is a repeat offender, someone who just can't follow the rules. And under the law, the woman faces a maximum of 20 years in a prison and a fine of up to 250,000 and 3 years of supervised release after her sentence. The system is very strict, and her case demonstrates that. You see how the woman put herself in a BH? Now, she might get 20 years of prison. Then she have to serve 3 years after she supervised, after she released, 250,000 US dollars. And then if she can find all of that, after all of that complete, she's going to be deported to Jamaica a third time. But if she's 54 now, add 20 to that. How much is that? 74. Look how many chances she get to leave the country. And she would have been better off spending those 20 years in a Jamaica and clean herself up and behave herself. Instead, she going to end up spend her latter years in a jail. But here's what I want us to pause. Because behind these illegal facts, there's a human story, a story that raises some tough questions. Why would somebody keep risking everything to come back? Was she driven by desperation, poverty, and family ties? Or perhaps she believed she could make a new life on her own terms. Every time she come back, she thinks that she can make a new life. Look, it get it. Look, not it get it, I get it. The law is clear. If you are deported, you're not supposed to re-enter without permission. That's about maintaining order, protecting borders, and unfolding sovereignty. But laws are also made by people, and sometimes those laws don't account for the human element. People like this woman aren't just statistics. They are individuals with stories, hopes, and struggles. But the thing that I cannot understand, we can make excuses, is why involve ourselves into drugs. Now, some people will argue, and I see this perspective often, that her repeated illegal entry proves she can't be trusted. And this is why this time she might have to serve time in a jail, because they can't trust her in the system, not even in the system. She's dangerous to society, and maybe that's true, but let's be honest. How many of us, faced with similar situations, backed into a corner, might do the same? A lot of people won't do the same. Some will, and some won't. If you are in a foreign land, desperate to reunite with family, or seeking opportunity, is risking a jail sentence really the only answer? Furthermore, consider the border system. The US has strict immigration laws, and they are enforced rigorously. But do they often offer pathways for people who want to come legally to rebuild their lives? Or do they push people into the shadows, making illegal re-entry almost inevitable for those who believe they have no other options? These are the type of people, the criminals. Why immigration law is so strict nowadays. On the other hand, we have laws meant to protect borders and uphold orders. On the other hand, we have individuals who are often driven by circumstances beyond their control. Some people really, really going through hardships, and traveling to a foreign country is a way out. Some are driven by poverty, some lack of opportunity, and perhaps even trauma, who end up in this cycle of deportation and re-entry because of the people who are really abusing the system, you know. And others might argue, and I tend to lean this way, that we need a more compassionate approach to it, because some people are have done it because they don't have no choice. That maybe, just maybe, we should look at reforming the system to allow for second chances. But this woman, she do it so many times. So this would not be a second chance for her. Because here's the truth. The woman's story is not just about her. It's about many other people who slip through the cracks, face the same choices, and sometimes end up in a cycle they can't escape. Her case forces us to ask, do we treat immigration as a matter of law alone or as a human issue? Each case should be treated differently. And how do we balance justice with mercy? So I want to hear from you guys. What do you think? Should someone like this woman be given a chance to rebuild her life, to be integrated legally and safely? Or is her repeated re-entry proof that she can't be trusted? This isn't an easy debate, but it's one we all need to have. Given the circumstances with the new immigration system, the ICE and the Trump, it's a debate that needs to be looked at. Guys, drop your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for sticking with me today. Don't forget to like, to subscribe, and share your perspective. Because stories like this woman who challenge us to think deeper about justice, compassion, and the kind of society we want to build. Guys, see you in the next video.